What was I made for? This is a question that we have been talking about in the last couple of Devos. As we think about that, of the question within itself, one of the things that we've mentioned, it's not just something that I myself have wondered at one point or the other in my life, but this is something that every generation we find that there are those who have asked the question, well, what was I made for? What was my purpose in this life? As we've been talking about that, a purpose, we started in the Old Testament. Not that we're looking at every example, but we're looking at some examples of those men of old who had went through their life looking, searching for purpose, asking questions along the road. And when you think about these men, we find that there's yet another, and his name is Isaiah. It is Isaiah who was there within that of his ministry, one who was very involved in the work of God, but yet there was difficulty that he faced. And I think as we direct this in the idea, those of us as Christians today, we strive to do what God wills for us, but at times we also find that it becomes difficult, that we are living in a dark world and we're not of this world. We're just simply living in it today. And therefore, our ways are going to be different. We're to be the light of the world. So, Isaiah, he says in 49:4, but I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for nothing and vanity, yet surely my right is with the Lord and my recompense with my God. So when you think about what it is that he is saying here, what it is that he is going through, he just really feels like everything that he has done, in some sense, it just seems like it's useless. I wonder how many of us feel that way at times. And then we even start questioning, well, what is our purpose? We may even have that mindset of thinking that, we just got absolutely nothing. It was said of one man to his wife many years ago, who was a well known star. He said that you have, but we look at it this way, it says, we have everything to live with, but nothing to live for. Now, that's not true for the Christian. We have everything to live for, but yet we find that there are so many in this world who are without God, who have nothing to live for. And that's a reality that is set in place. You think about that of the rich young man in Luke chapter 12 and verses 19 through 21. It says, and I will say to my soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up the treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. Well, a lot of people will go through this life today and they'll look and they don't believe they'll have purpose. And it's because they're chasing everything of the world. That's something we've already talked about. So, in that chase of the world, even like the rich young man, he was putting all of his trust in that wealth. And that's what he really felt that would take him the distance, if you would. But the reality was, where he was caring for that of the material, we find that he should have been caring for his soul. We can't let that be the case for us today, that we get caught up in the things of the world. We have every reason to live. God has blessed us with so much, and that's something that we indeed need to be able to take and to see within that of our walk. We live with purpose, and as we live with purpose, what we think about that is that through it, I should say, is that that's where we're energized. It's where we're fulfilled. It's why we go about life and doing God's work. That when we're focused on Him, focused on serving Him, that we can be like the many other Bible characters throughout the Testament, Old Testament, maybe like Enoch or Noah or Abraham or Jacob or Joseph or Moses or David or Solomon or Ezekiel. And we could go on and look at New Testament, whether it be John the Baptist, whether it be Peter, whether it be Paul, whether it be John, whether it be Luke, whoever we would take and we add within this, what we find is that when we look at these men who had purpose, and there are plenty of women throughout the scriptures too that had great purpose, and we can find that because of their purpose, they were successful. God gives us purpose. We are his creation. He's created each and every one of us, and he has invested us, because if you take and you look at it, he has given us the intentions of life to take and to live for him. Let's not think that our life is useless whenever we see things are not going our way. Things will be difficult, but we have to keep in mind our purpose is still in God. Let's further this thought again next week. I hope that you have a blessed day.